Oh my gosh, look who just stopped by. It's Andrew from RIO. How amazing is this?
Cowboy Coder. Now, I heard you were doing these CLI demos. I got really excited because I just came from an interplanetary experience learning about the permaweb across the galaxy. They keep talking about the IPFS, like the interplanetary file system. I'm like, whoa, what if you could somehow use those tags with the CLI? Is that even possible? How do we do that?
Oh yeah, we know how to do that. That's one of the cool features of the CLI. It allows you to go global, baby. It's amazing.
What we are going to do now is upload a file to our public drive. And this time we're going to make sure that we add an IPFS tag to our set of commands that we're going to upload. And what this does is it's going to allow us to create a metadata transaction that we'll get from this. Aside from that, it's basically things that we've seen before. We want the wallet file, the parent folder ID that we're putting in, and the local path of our file that we're using and the destination that we want in the drive itself. And we're adding something a little different here. We are adding an actual log file that we're going to capture all this data for us. So let's go ahead and run this command, and that should finish fairly quickly, and we'll see that this is now in our ArDrive.log file that will be created, and we'll have the end of the output for something. You'll see what we did here is since we packed into this file, we've captured everything from that output. And this is great for us to utilize because now that we've added the IPFS tag, you can see that we've got this metadata transaction ID.
Wow, IPFS tags are more fun than getting roosted on a Friday night.
That is awesome, Cowboy Coder. But let's say you wanted to add your own custom tags to your music, because I remember listening to your album, I was thinking about the amalgamation of styles and how someone like you might use tags to clarify different genres on different tracks. Is that possible?
Oh yeah, it's completely possible.
For example, I know you have a song with Ash Tellum that not only is it a collab, but it's also 100 beats per minute, and it's an E minor, and it's what you could consider an indie rock duet. So if you wanted to tag all these things as custom metadata tags, could the CLI hypothetically help you?
Absolutely.
And you'll notice we don't have to add the IPFS option this time because we're not making that type of transaction. What we're doing this time is we are uploading a metadata file that has all of those custom tags that we want in it, referencing back to the file on our local system. And when we issue this command, it's going to also go process on the gateway, and we're going to get the output of that as well onto our hard drive. Now, if you look at this, what's happened is the transaction has now had at least one confirmation. So what we want to do is go look up the file information from our metadata transaction. It gave us the ID for the entity ID, which is now our file that has this metadata applied to it. So when we go and we issue this from our command, what we're going to see is that the file that was uploaded correctly, and now it has all of that custom GQL tags and the custom metadata JSON tags as well.
All right, so Cowboy Coder, when I'm thinking about GraphQL, how can I find this, and how is this useful as a fan of music?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. There's a really amazing tool out there on rweave.net called GraphQL. And what it does is it will allow you to query anything. So any types of custom GQL tags that you add to your files, you can come right out here and you can query it. So I've got this query out here that's looking for the artist of Cowboy Coder. And when I run this, it's going to show me all the transactions that are out here that I've uploaded.
If we were to take the transaction ID and go to view block, would we learn more about your music? Could we maybe find the MP3?
Yes, absolutely. It will actually pull up the details, the very specific details of everything that is known about this file. And you can see it's got all of the metadata that was added. We've got the genre, the album, the artist, and that's how we queried it, was through this meta tag right here.
Oh, so those are all custom metadata tags that you created.
Absolutely. Anyone can create any custom tag that they'd like and add it as part of the GQL tags to their file.
So this is a bundle, right? If we wanted to listen to the MP3, could we click the bundle transaction ID and find the MP3 maybe?
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad you asked. Let me click on that right now. And when you look at that bundle, you can see all of the things that we've done here. And the actual file here is the MP3 right here. So I can click on this and download it.
So Cowboy Coder, let's say you wanted to indicate a studio where you recorded an album or a record label. Is it conceivable, and this might sound like over the top, like if you were to add custom metadata within the RFS metadata transaction JSON file, could that happen? Or am I just like too ambitious with my Web3 dreams? Because I'm talking about custom tags, bro.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely correct. You can absolutely do that.
Be sure to look for Code Rage, my debut album premiering October 14th everywhere. Know before you lasso using the ArDrive CLI.